Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by
Big bucks are not hard to come by. Ask these hunters who have one thing in common. No, we're not talking about big smiles on their faces. All these hunters learn the secret of how to grow big antlers. A product that requires no planning. A product that's easy to use and is guaranteed to grow buck's antlers to their full potential. It all starts here with the brand Lucky Buck. Guaranteed to grow bigger bone or your money back.
Welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson, and here in the middle of summertime, it's hard to believe, but archery season is just around the corner. A couple of weeks back, we did a bow review for you on vertical bows. This week, we thought we'd check out some of the crossbows on the market right now and some of the newest technologies that are available for us out there. Jimmy's got some other fun stuff for us this week, too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have a few more things on this week's show. Our friends over at MUCC recently got together with one of their clubs, the Michigan Hunting Dog Federation. We're going to get to see what it looks like to take a bunch of families out training bear dogs. You won't want to miss that story. We're also going to sit down with a local high school, and they're going to show us what they're doing to get kids involved in the art of taxidermy. Lots of good stuff on this week's show, so you stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan Out of Doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Meyer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meyer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meyer. By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows. Manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan, G5 offers archery bows, broadheads, and accessories. On the web at g5outdoors.com. By Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen.
Well, we are here today with Dave Thomas from Bowhunter Planet. Now, Dave, we've been here a couple times over the years, and we get some products sent to us at Michigan Out of Doors that we try to feature on the show from time to time, but you at Bowhunter Planet get all the goodies. And so a couple weeks ago, we did a review on vertical bows. We thought it would, the smart thing to do is to do kind of an update on the crossbows, the horizontal bows. Let's just start off with, we're going to look at least 3 today. There's a lot on the market. Tell me about the first one and why you picked that one.
This is the Darton Viper Extreme SS. And we picked this one because Darton's a Michigan company, number one.
Yep.
Number two, the bow's got a lot of great features. The biggest thing I like about it is the soft touch.
Okay.
So it's got a great feel to it, it grips really well. But more importantly, has the safety feature that you really can get your fingers into the rail.
And you're starting to see that on more, like Darton, that's kind of a Darton thing, right?
Yeah, Darton had this, they're pretty much one of the first people to ever have something like this.
Okay.
As you can see through some of these other ones, it started to come about, as time goes on. But
Yeah.
The bow shoots great. It's 360 feet per second, which makes it very fast. 180 pounds to pull it. And this one actually features two. They have the auto cocker where you can put the auto cocker in.
That's right.
So if you have any disabilities or you just don't want to pull it,
Yeah.
put the auto cocker in and go ahead and crank it up. So it makes it real easy.
So Dave, one of the things that I seem to find when I've shot some of the crossbows is that they're pretty loud. Now with these string suppressant type deal, does that help much, or what's your feel on that?
Absolutely. Actually, the Darton's not too loud. I think it's one of the quietest ones in the industry. You know, with the suppression nowadays, it just keeps getting better. So as the suppression keeps changing, Limb Saver keeps making better and better suppression. There's also bow jacks out there. So we're seeing better and better suppression throughout the industry as we speak. But this bow's extremely quiet. So.
Okay. And again, and we'll kind of touch on all these bows here, but just the overall compact feel. I know walking through the woods with the crossbow is probably one of the hardest things about hunting with the crossbows. Is they're not easy to get in and up and around. And are the Dartons coming in? Are most bows coming in? Are we seeing that getting smaller, or what's your take on that?
Absolutely. Everything seems to be getting smaller. Even Excalibur, as we can see, it's getting smaller. Darton has done that. Every bow of their predecessors everything keeps getting smaller. So, and I think it's made so you can do your spot and stalks. You can, carry it through the woods pretty easily. Gotcha. This bow is 8.4 pounds. But again, like we were talking about earlier, it has a monopod system where you can add it and put the weight on the monopod, so you can keep it real steady. So.
Yeah, sometimes the weight's not a bad deal. Sometimes it's nice to have a lighter one, which we'll talk about in a minute. But let's transition over to the Excalibur. Now these seems like they're one of the first ones on the market. They're quite durable. Walk me through what are we looking at here for Excalibur? And this is this year's model.
Correct, yeah. The Excalibur Matrix 380, this is a great bow. Shoots real well. It's got small size compared to some of the older Excalibur models. It's a real popular hit right now. Actually, they're doing really well in sales from what I've seen of these bows. This one's 380 feet per second, 260 pounds, and it weighs 5.9 pounds.
That's quite a pull.
Quite a pull. And the reason that is because you have the traditional limb. Gotcha. So with that limb, you can't get that kind of speed without, doing a lot more weight. Okay. And I think that's what we see with this system. But again, we were talking about suppression. Everybody's doing the suppression. I still think you're going to find this one to be a little bit louder than like the Darton. Okay. However, it is more compact, and when it is cocked, it's smaller even.
And that's true. I mean, this doesn't look nearly as compact as these bows, but this is quite a bit smaller than what the Excalibur had been in the past.
Yep, they used to be a lot wider.
And the real plus for an Excalibur is what? Their durability. Right?
Correct, yeah. This is probably the most durable bow, I would say, in the industry, just because when it comes to crossbows, there's no cams, there's no gadgets, nothing can break. So if you dry fire this bow in the field, you can actually use this tool to change your string if it was to break. So you can put this on both ends, and you can actually cock it, and it'll be loose. You can switch your string. And
you were saying that you've dry fired these, and they even say go ahead and dry fire them to where the bow would probably blow up.
Yeah, I would think most of the time, in our testing, we've dry fired them because we have test lab, and that's kind of what we do. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody to go out and dry fire your bow. However, in our testing, we have dry fire just to test the durability, and we've never had one break. We've only had strings break on us. So if you're going to Africa or something, that you need something that's got to be reliable, I would definitely, look at Excalibur for that.
So Africa or the thumb, anywhere really far away. Okay. There you go. Now this bow, it kind of caught my eye. This is from Parker, and walk me through this, because this is a very small, lightweight bow. What are the stats on this?
That's a 300 feet per second. It has a range of 125 to 150 pounds of draw weight, and it only weighs 5.5 pounds.
Yeah, it doesn't weigh much of anything.
Yeah, it's made for a small frame. A child, a woman, anybody's got a small frame. It's got the nice pistol grip. It's got the nice Parker handle, which is really nice. And it does have some, with the plate here, so it does have some protection there to try not to get your hands over the rail. Obviously, if you had a huge hand, it might be a problem, but.
But it's not, it is built for smaller hunt, but anybody could really hunt with this. The speeds are just, it's a little bit slower, 300 feet per second, you said?
Yep, 300 feet.
But still plenty enough to do the job. Okay, so this is the new Parker that's out. Now, one of the things that we don't have this year's model, but these reverse type bows, I don't even know what you'd call this kind of a concept. What has been so popular about these, and are more companies making that kind of a bow now?
Yeah, each company, a lot of the companies have been keep changing to this, and basically, as a good center of gravity, everything's in the middle, the weight. It gets real small when it cocks down. When you have it fully loaded, it's going to come in real short. And they're very fast. This one is, we said 365 feet per second at only 140 pounds of draw weight. Wow, okay. So by doing the reverse system, you actually can do less poundage and get more speed.
Okay. Nice. Well, we're going to look at accessories and stuff here in a minute, but just your overall sense of, when you look at the vertical bows and as those kind of progress through the years, what's your sense on crossbows? Are they getting better and better each year? Have they kind of plateaued out? What's your take on that?
I think there'll be a lot of changes still coming up. I think as we've seen from Darton over the years here, they keep getting smaller and smaller on their frame. Excalibur's gotten smaller, so I think things are getting better and better. And as the cams change and all the different cam systems that can happen, from Rex Darlington and those kind of guys, we can see even better and faster bows. I mean, you look at this cam here. I mean, look at the size of that compared to this cam or that cam. So, things are changing constantly. And companies like Barnett, 10 Point, Darton are always trying to give themselves a challenge to make a better bow.
Okay, and we're going to show some footage throughout this of you shooting these bows. As far as if you're coaching somebody, are the triggers much different on many of these? Or are they all roughly about the same pull? Optics, is that a big part of, a lot of these come with a scope, kind of the packages that you can buy. Is that a big selling point on some of these bows, or where does the trigger and optics and all that fit in?
Yeah, the trigger definitely has different poundages. Each one's going to have a different one. You have to really read the details to figure out which one you like the best. I recommend shooting them at like your local dealer, pro shop, just to get a feel for the pull, the trigger pull. As far as packages go, each one has a different package, and you can buy them bare as well, most of these.
Okay.
If you go to like a Bass Pro, generally you're going to see a package deal. Okay. The scopes are all different, basically between all of them. So you're gonna have a whole bunch of different options with scopes. Some people don't even get the package, they put their own scope on it that they want. Okay. Now, this is just a good example here. On this Excalibur, this one had what they call the P-tack, and it's a tactical handle. And how it works is, just real quick, you can adjust it.
Okay.
And it gives you the ability to hold this thing here. It also gives you this Picatinny rail system on all sides. You can put a camera on this. Okay. You can put your quiver. You can put a whole bunch of a flashlight, whatever you need if you're bow fishing or something with this thing at night. So there's a lot of options, a lot of different angles you can go with it. But this is just an example of some of the accessories you can get for these things.
Okay. Well, like Dave said, we're going to look at accessories here in a minute, but if you're looking for a crossbow package this year or a brand new crossbow or buying one from a buddy, I mean, when I have gone and shot these before, figure out which kind of optics you like. The trigger pull is there. They're all a little bit different. Some of you like a heavier pull, some of you like real sensitive, some of them are adjustable, some of them aren't. But these are just some of the latest ones that are out there on the market. They all will be very good weapons in the field. It's just kind of really preference and price point. Well, special thanks to Dave Thomas and all the guys over there at bowhunterplanet.com. That was definitely fun to sit down with them. And obviously, there are more than just 3 crossbows that are hitting the market this year, but there's really no way for us to cover them all. So we thought we'd just give you a small taste of some of the stuff that's going to be out there this year when it comes to crossbows. What we're going to do now is shift gears, and actually our friends over at MUCC and Gabe Van Warmer recently were out in the woods with the Michigan Hunting Dog Federation doing a story on what goes into training bear dogs.
This is the bear chair. This is where I look to sit and look for bear tracks in the morning. I sit right on here, and it's homemade by Mike Thorman. Quite comfortable. And when it's real dark, I will carry a flashlight with me to see the tracks also.
Well, we found a track here. Looks like they're working to get it off the road, which means we're trying to walk the road and we got to find out which way it goes. We're going to put some cold trails down. Look up in front, you'll see there's kids on top of the box with the dogs.
They brought one on the other side and their dog's going back.
here running the bear. Hopefully they got it jumped. I don't know. They're cold tracking.
So how can you tell the difference here?
You can tell the difference in the barking and their voice and stuff.
How will it change when they jump it?
They'll bark a lot more.
They get pretty excited.
Yeah, they get excited. They're sounding pretty good right now.
What's going on?
So
Dogs at treating here. Hopefully they got a bear in the tree, not a raccoon. Go ahead and get him, girl.
So who are the guys we were running with today?
My sons. I've got 3 sons and their wives and the grandkids, and we just come up here and have a good time. They were my grandkids. I got 14 of them, and I think all of them but 3 were here today. Well, it's just, I think, part of life. They gotta get off the couch. They seem to like it, so we just keep on doing it. When I first started and we went to the UP, we run bear, lots of bear, but we never treat them. And we kind of changed our philosophy on our dogs and bred a little more tree dog into them, and my boys just really like it and pound them hard. And it seems like the last, I'd say 15 years, we've finally got it kind of tuned to where we can get them started and get them treed. That's the key right there to it, is to have a start dog. And I think you better have a pretty good tree dog too, because when you back them dogs off that tree and the bear's had time to catch his wind, he don't stay there very long. He's down on the ground going again, so.
Oh yeah. Got one tree.
We don't want to all the way out there on the limb. Yeah. Come back. Can we just stop?
We pulled the dogs back off the tree and started out. She decided it was time to come down. The little guys are still up there though. We'll go find another track and leave these to grow up.
They're no worse for the wear, are they?
No, they didn't go no distance. Put on the track and maybe went 3/4 of a mile and treed.
We just treated a sow and 2 cubs, which is, we got out of there as soon as we realized they were little cubs up there. But that's exactly why we need to drag roads. The bear dog's rigged. We knew there was a bear there. We let go. Now we got a sow and 2 cubs. If we could just drag an old tire or broom down the road, we would have known that was a sow and cubs, and we would have never put down on it. That's our reason for wanting to do that, because we're all about the resource. These people these group of hunters hardly ever kill bears, just the kids, basically now. So that's what we're worried about, helping the resource.
So a lot of people have misconceptions about bear hounds. They think that these dogs are mean and tear into kids and bears, and they're actually very, very soft, gentle animals. You can treat them if they have wounds, or to clip their toenails, or to clean their ears. They're the softest, easiest animals to work with. I've had to clean poodles' ears before that were way harder than these guys. Bear hounds are gentle with children and any age people. There's nothing like them.
There, Mike.
Oh, I was studying the GPS, the infallible GPS, about to move the truck 1/4 mile ahead when the bear almost run into the bumper. Technology, wonderful thing.
I had a beagle or a bird dog, I think since I was 6 years old. So some guys like to bait hunt, some guys like to deer hunt, some guys like to run dogs, and it's whatever your heart desires, really, you know.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and for this week's show, I was able to highlight a high school going above and beyond to get more students involved in the outdoors by giving them the opportunity to learn about taxidermy firsthand. For this week's show, I was visiting my alma mater, Ionia High School, checking in on a program designed to give kids a break from the normal classroom setting and a chance to learn something most high schoolers never will.
We're involved with the plant and animal science class here. Mr. Jason Griffith asked me somewhere around 10 years ago if I would come in and demonstrate. Well, with that being said, we had probably 10, 12 students to start with. 10 years later down the road, we're at 38 students this year that are taking part in the fish class. Now, we do fish one year, which are usually largemouth bass, and then the next year we will do squirrels, fox squirrels, because you can manhandle them. We only get these students for basically 2 hours a day, so it's very hard to find a species that will handle just 2 hours a day for a week straight. So that's why we're doing largemouth bass. When our students come from all over the county, it really amazes me that more than half of them are female students. And you really wouldn't think of that, but they have more artistic ability than what a male student would have. I don't know why that is or how that comes about, but you can see the difference, especially when we get our finished product done. They seem to take a little more time and effort. Maybe they're paying attention a little bit more. I don't know what the case is, but some of our girl students are putting out some really, really nice projects.
While the students were hard at work attaching the actual fish to the form, the catch and release bass angler me just had to ask, where did all of these fish come from?
We start with a fresh specimen, and when I say a fresh specimen, these specimens were collected, 80% of them were collected from bass tournaments throughout the summer that have died. We try to keep them alive and return them to the water, but there's always, especially during the warm water months, we don't have the option of keeping them all alive. So I will collect them, keep them in the freezer, they get a full specimen. I come in, I demonstrate how to skin it. The next day they come in and do what I did. We tan them, we order the proper size form for them, we get those in. They have to sand the mannequin to accept the glue. With that being said, this year we had our glue was donated, our tanning agent was donated. The fish forms themselves from Mackenzie, they gave us a 15% discount, which is huge. That keeps their cost, the students' cost down, so they can take these projects home with them when they leave. Okay, ready? Right above my finger.
Are you bleeding now? No. Ah! Oh my goodness!
Oh, I could not help myself. You okay? Being part of the plant and animal science class, this actually helps them anatomy-wise understand the inner workings, because if they can understand how God put this creature together, they can tear it apart and then put it back together once we take all the yuck out of it, if you will. So if we get them involved doing this kind of thing, they don't worry about their cell phones, they don't worry about their iPads at this point in time. They are completely focused on this project. Sometimes they actually have to take it home, or they will come in and spend a little extra time after school if they didn't have enough time in the beginning of class to do it. So that's how dedicated some of these students are. It's very, very nice to see that they're taking pride in the work that they're doing. They're all going to go home with a nice specimen. Just some are going to be better than others.
This class allows students the unique opportunity to explore part of the outdoors that's often overlooked, and to help future outdoorsmen and women understand the importance of a good taxidermist. Special thanks to Curtis Cook and everyone involved for helping to get a few more kids involved in the outdoors.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. If you missed any part of this week's show, or you'd like to see something over or watch some of our older episodes, you can do that on our website at michiganoutofdoorstv.com. Speaking of online, you can also check us out on our Facebook page at Michigan Out of Doors TV. Jimmy, Jordan, and I are on there on a daily basis letting you know what we're up to and where we're at in Michigan. And speaking of where we're at, we've been out getting a lot of brand new stories for you. Coming up over the next few weeks, we'll be salmon fishing out of Frankfurt. We'll show you some new crossbow accessories that are on the market now. And we'll be fishing out of Port Austin over on the Lake Huron side. Lots of great stuff coming up right here on your PBS station and Michigan Out of Doors.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises of Munising, exploring Lake Superior's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore with its sandstone cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and lighthouses. Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises on the web at picturedrocks.com. By Rosie Brothers. Located in Dryden, Michigan, Rosie Brothers has been serving Michigan for over 40 years. Specializing in outdoor needs, Rosie Brothers features Kubota tractors and equipment for use in farm, home, or commercial needs. On the web at rosiebrosinc.com. By Propane, exceptional energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas energy in homes, farms, and businesses across our great state. Learn more at usemichiganpropane.com. By Meyer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meyer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meyer. Closed captioning is brought to you by Propane, exceptional energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas to outdoor enthusiasts across our great state.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land.